Hey YouTube, how are you doing? My name is Stijn and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm bringing you a company that has great short-term potential as well as the fundamentals to 10x in the long run. In this video we're talking about Regeneron Pharmaceuticals and I'll try to explain why I believe this is such a great company. Regeneron has this ticker symbol. To discuss why I believe this is such a great company and why I think you would want to chip in as well, we'll first talk about their current products and medicines. Second, we'll talk about their future product pipeline and the research they're doing in the genome space. Then we're going to talk about ARK Invest and their absolute crazy buying, so you do want to stick around for that part. Fourth, I'll talk you through the short-term potential I see forming. And lastly, I'll try to give a clear long-term picture for this company and I'll tell you about my own buy targets and price predictions. Let's go. Regeneron currently supplies 9 medicines, of which 3 treat rare diseases, namely Arcalyst, Evkeeza and Libthio. Besides these 3 more niche market products, they produce about 6 mass market medicines. The first one on this list is Dupixent, which treats people from dermatitis, or in plain English, skin irritation. But it can also be used with patients that have moderate to severe asthma, so a pretty wide use case product. The second one on this list is Eylea, which is a treatment for AMD, which is basically blurred vision caused by age. In 2015, about 6.2 million people in the US suffered from this condition, therefore forming a large, healthy patient base. The third one is Inmazeb, which is an Ebola virus medicine. The fourth one on this list is Cathie, which treats adults from rheumatoid arthritis, and about 1% of people worldwide suffer from this, so some proper market potential. The fifth one is Praluent, which helps with cardiovascular disease, which is becoming more and more prevalent nowadays in the population. The sixth and last one on this list is Regeneron, which is a medicine that has been authorized by the FDA for emergency use. It treats mild to moderate coronavirus disease, especially for those who are at risk of severe COVID-19 or even hospitalization. It is great to see that Regeneron is really well diversified in a lot of health sectors. They produce medicines that treat 6 different common diseases while being competitively priced as well as competitively functional. They also diversify in more rare diseases where competition is less intense, therefore form revenue streams that are well protected against competition. If a competitor comes along and develops a medicine that's way better than one of Regeneron's medicines, they will be fine, since they have 5 other mass market medicines as well as their 3 more niche products. Their well-diversified portfolio makes me feel really secure about their current competitiveness. And besides this, they have a great pipeline of products coming up. Well, that of course leads me to said pipeline of products. Before a new medicine can reach the market, in the US, said medicine first needs to go through a rigorous testing phase. The FDA approval process is made up of 3 phases of clinical trials, of which the number of volunteers and patients increase from tens for phase 1 to hundreds for phase 2 to thousands for phase 3. After this period, the research is reviewed and then approved or declined by the FDA. Currently, Regeneron has a whopping 31 potential medicines in the pipeline, of which 7 are in phase 3 trials and therefore have a lot of potential. Slightly more than half of these medicines are mass market products and have a potential to really increase the business potential for Regeneron. The others are more niche products but can still add a healthy, diversified income stream too. Awesome, so we now know they have 9 medicines currently for sale and have the potential to add tens more in the future. If only a handful, let's say 5 of these 31 medicines pass through the FDA approvals, which is totally possible, Regeneron will still increase their market potential significantly, depending how effective these products actually are. Knowing they have such a well-diversified portfolio and an even more diversified pipeline of possible products coming up makes me feel really secure about their competitive advantage for the foreseeable future. Besides all these awesome products, Regeneron is also actively researching in the antibody space as well as the genome sequencing space, which are both expected to be hyper-growth sectors for the next decade. Which is also partly why ARK invests in this company. More on this later. Therefore, by investing in Regeneron, you get access to a well-diversified portfolio of medicines, an interesting and exciting pipeline of products coming up in the future, as well as the potential to leverage the genome sequencing space. A great value proposition if the price is right. Stick around for the buy targets later. ARK Invest is a really well-known and successful actively traded group of ETFs. They invest in hypergrowth sectors like autonomous tech, internet, fintech, as well as the genomic revolution. Many of us new age and individual investors, rightfully so, look up to ARK Invest and see what they are up to. Well, ARK Invest has been buying this company like crazy. While the share price has slowly been slumping, ARK Invest decided to scoop up as many shares as they possibly could. Currently, Regeneron makes up about 4% of their Genomic Revolution ETF, or 1.1 million shares. And they hold around 1.7 million shares total. I therefore believe ARK Invest sees great potential in Regeneron, since they are buying this dip heavily. ARK Invest is known to swing trade, and I believe they see a lot of potential in the upcoming weeks and months to do so on this company. ARK normally swing trades stocks that they see as a great company to hold for a long time, so seeing them hold such a large position in this company makes me feel even more secure about the research I did, and legitimizes this play even more. Now onto the short-term potential I see for this company. Ever since the 22nd of January, so for about a month now, Regeneron has been on a steady decline. This is also reflected in the moving average, MACD and stochastics. And currently, Regeneron stock is consolidating nicely for a breakout to the upside. This can be seen on the MACD chart, pause the video now for what settings I use for the MACD, and on the stochastics chart. Pause the video now to see what settings I use for stochastics. Both these indicators tell me that the stock could propel itself to the upside in just a few days to maybe weeks. I personally don't trade short term or swing trade, but a consolidation can be quite a nice entry for a more longer term position. And the longer term vision we'll discuss now. Regeneron has steadily been growing on all parts of their business. Their revenue has been growing at about 30% compounded for over 10 years now, and has even grown 30% from 2019 to 2020. So this growth is not really slowing either. And because of their well-diversified portfolio and the exciting pipeline coming up, I believe Regeneron is able to continue this absolutely staggering growth for the years to come. Now let's try to look in a crystal ball and see where Regeneron stock will go in the next decade. Since 2010, Regeneron was able to grow their EPS or earnings per share at about 42% compounded. So let's be conservative here and say they can continue this growth at just 20% for the next 10 years, so until 2031. Regeneron currently has an EPS of $30.52, so if we grow this at 20% for the next decade, we get to an EPS of around $188 in 2 years. Now we need to determine what is a fair price to pay for these earnings. At their high point in 2015, Regeneron had a PE of around 150. And they had a PE of 15 at their low points. So let's be slightly conservative here and say they will hit a PE of 25 in 10 years. So if we use that PE of 25, the earnings of 188 times 25 results in a future value of almost $5,000 per share. And as a reference, that would mean a 10x return from today's prices. Let's now determine what is a fair price to pay for Regeneron 10 years earlier. So today, we discount this $4,700 at 15% a year to go back to a fair price to pay today of around $1,170. Now, as a margin of safety, we take another 50% of this price. Wow, we get a margin of safety price of $580. That's $110 higher than today's stock prices. Therefore, if we were to buy Regeneron at around $470, this company forms a really attractive value proposition. You would have 10x potential in just 10 years, which is an insane value proposition for any company, especially a blue chip company. But please keep in mind, investing is risky and I'm not a financial advisor. I myself am invested in this stock, therefore take my opinion with a grain of salt. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like and maybe even subscribe. Comment down below what you want me to talk about next, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.